For Beast here, and before you even watch 1 full minute of this video, I want you to go in the link in the description, HalfMetalFox and the video that this is about. Go watch them. Definitely go watch his straight interpretation first, because this video will be basically explaining how I think and what basically my reaction to his thoughts. If you don't watch the original video, you're not going to get the same feeling. And honestly, it would do injustice to the great video that he made. So do check it out, and links are in the description. So let's get started with this.
All right, it's been a while since we did this, but it's time to give Vigor another real review.
And that, my friends, is how you do a proper introduction. I probably should be taking some notes here, but you know, no, I don't really learn. All right, you guys are stuck with my intro. My intro's good. Whatever.
Before we get into this, I've been playing Vigor for around a year or so now.
Huge props to him here. He actually starts the video off by explaining his bias, like why he believes what he believes, exactly what his background is in this game, how much time he's put into it. And that's something that's very important when you're giving a review of anything. Whether your background is positive or negative, being able to tell your viewer exactly what your bias is going to let them be able to, in turn, decide their own opinion, whether or not they will agree with you in the long run. He also continues, he's going to continue explaining exactly how much he's playing the game. I'm going to play just a bit more of that.
I've gained 100% of all the achievements. I have become a partner with Vigor. I participated in the first official partner tournament, and I placed second. All of that being said, in this video, let's discuss where Vigor has come in the last year.
So here's where the video really begins, and we're really about to get a meet into what he believes and what his thoughts are, so let's do this. So he starts the video off explaining how different the game was back in 0.8, or possibly even 0.7 he could be referring to here. I'm not going to include any of that because, again, those are his words. Go to his video if you want to know exactly what his thoughts are on that. I genuinely agree with what he said, though. 0.8 wasn't an amazing update. Vigor was a different game. It barely was anything. It was more of a skeleton. And I really like how he doesn't try acting like 0.8 was this diamond in the rough that a lot of people make it out to be. 0.8 wasn't the perfect update. And I really like how he just says that pretty much. He's honest. I like that.
Your duo partner didn't even have a team indicator. You could literally join up with one of your friends, head off into different houses just to loot something, only to end up blasting each other because you can't tell the difference between friend or foe, and they didn't have a mic or something. Your only chance was to wear something memorable, or if you actually had it, try and match outfits.
Oh my god, the memories. If you played that backdoor in 0.8, you know exactly what he is talking about. It was hilarious as you think you're 1v1ing the ultimate AUR god, but it's just your teammate. And you walk over, you open his inventory, and you go, "Wait a minute, bro, this was you." I can't even recall how many times that happened to me. It was a very common occurrence. It wasn't even like stupidity, it was more of just, there was no indicators, so your natural instincts to kill your enemies to kick in, and the enemy just dies. I really like that he made this point.
Now, since those days, I have watched the community grow in the masses, and it's helped mold Vigor into the game that we play today. I've spent easily 1,000 hours playing Vigor, and I'd actually have to say it's currently the game that I play the most.
The thing that really makes me happy about this clip is just how happy he looks when he's saying this. This shows that he truly loves the game. I mean, if you don't want a reason to go watch him right now, then here's another one, because he truly loves the game. This is something that, when I first joined the partnership, way back when, I didn't like partners. I joined the partnership kind of because I didn't like the partners. I thought they were not very good at what they were doing. But now that I've been in the partnership for so long, I've been able to watch partners really grow as a community. He mentions the entire community growing and that shaping the game as a result, but it also shaped the partners. And I really think it shows in this clip, and just how much passion he has for the game. He's smiling. He's happy. He's not making this video because he has to. He's making this video because he wants to. And that's beautiful to me. It's very different than when I joined the game, really what was rampant at that time. A lot of people making the videos because it made views. It made videos because they were the only ones making videos. I mean, there were exceptions even back then, but this is truly one of the parts of the community that I love the most. Just this positive growth we've seen.
Vigor has, to be fair, had a lot of setbacks.
All right, let's see what he says these setbacks are, and I'll give you my opinion on each of these setbacks that he's going to quote. I do believe Vigor has had setbacks in his past. I'm just curious where he's going to say they occurred.
You remember how people had to develop strategies against not using automatic weapons there for a good minute? Or how many people remember the invincible bush glitch? Having to tiptoe around any encounter just because you knew some butt-rifled bush Wookiee was gonna take all your good loots?
Can we have a moment of silence for all of the people that died on Drog due to the bush glitch? Because I died many times. Actually, that's the only time in Vigor's entire history, like ever, that I said I wouldn't stream the game because it wasn't working. That glitch really got me, and I even said in a podcast I did that weekend, I said, this is the lowest we can get. We can only go up from here. And I honestly think we only went up from there. Bush glitch was the worst thing in the game, ever. Period.
Oh yeah, I remember. Maybe you've gotten stuck in some rocks. Maybe you got stuck underneath a vehicle you were trying to loot. Maybe you've left certain encounters to find certain things didn't make it to the shelter with you. Maybe a lot of server disconnections leaving you wondering what happened and also lootless. And you know what I say to the people who keep bringing up these bugs and saying that they're game breaking and that they're never gonna play Vigor again? Fair enough. And I mean it. Like, fair enough. That is your opinion, and I can't down you for having that opinion of the game.
Okay. That clip was amazing. It was very amazing, simply put. I have refilmed this particular audio session 5 times now because I don't know how to put it into words. So I'm not going to. He was extremely professional in the way he acknowledged that issue, and I can't do it justice as much as he did. So I completely agree with what he said, and we're just going to continue with the video.
I really can understand that these types of bugs or glitches can leave a player really disappointed, and in some rare cases they can even feel kind of cheated. I would know. I've lost a lot of crowns, weapons, and progress along the way too. But what I've also seen is a development team of barely 60 people push out a game that tremendous amounts of people play every single day. And they're trying their best to push out updates next to mega giants like Fortnite or Apex Legends and the like. Sometimes it does take a little bit for these fixes and patches to come out, but they also have many things on their end that they kind of have to jump through in order to get these updates out in a timely manner. I could only hope that once you see the perspective of 60 people pushing out a game like Vigor, you could also understand how these things could take a little bit of time.
I didn't want to interrupt that great statement that he just said. The core issue of fixing these bugs that are driving people away, that are making people angry, is we only have 60 devs. There's only so much they can do. They try their best, and sometimes their best is enough for some people, but just take it with a grain of salt, everything you receive, or I guess a grain of sugar, because it's only 60 people. It's much less devs than many other games on the market, and they are definitely trying their best. I also want to note the background footage is looped. It's 5 minutes from point 8. The reason I decided to not take newer footage is this is a Will Vigor Survive in 2020? And I remember the question back when I joined, which was sometime right before summer. It was in the late spring. My question was, will Vigor survive 1.0? I remember what it was like not knowing how long this game will last and just loving it and hearing so much negative around it. And this all, again, it could be just an excuse, but I wanted to keep just .8 footage. So it loops. I'm sorry. I don't have it. I can't go back to .8. I can't turn back the clocks and get more footage. So you're stuck with the 5 minutes of .8. Let's continue with the video and not talk about background footage.
One of the big problems that I see with Vigor is the lack of an actual competitive structure.
Now, I know a lot of my fans are rival fans, so I'm just going to get this statement out of the way. Rivals is a pro league. Rivals is a competitive side of Vigor. A lot of really good Vigor players have said before that Rivals gave them new light into the game. However, he is talking in aspect to the game itself, built into, funded by the devs, run by the devs, it baked into the game. That does not exist. While pro leagues do exist, and I think they're really fun, I do think you should check out Rivals. That's not what he's referring to. He's referring to something else, and I don't want to see like a 301 rival comments on his video like, what about Vigor Rivals? No. He's not talking about that. Not needed.
Track personal stats. There's no way to team up with more than a duo, which leads to people teaming in various ways like queuing up together and the sort. And there's no type of different game mode to kind of keep things.
Let me quickly explain my personal thoughts on all of his points. The no competitive structure, I would say there is exactly what I said earlier. There's nothing baked into the game, but competitive structures are very easy to make with Vigor. There is a lot of built-in things such as XP, certain different types of rarities of items, the fact that it shows you your kill count at the end of the round, all that stuff can help build a competitive atmosphere, but it's not baked in. There's no way to track personal stats. I don't think Vigor's that type of game, personally. While I do get what he's saying here, that's definitely taken away from the competitive league. If personal tracks were to be tracked, I think it would definitely ruin a lot more of the atmosphere of the game, because we have to remember, at the bottom of the day, the very new players in the games are very much playing passive games because they have to get the new guns. And if we add things like personal stats, it's going to make these really try-hard, higher-level players, kind of like what we're seeing with the Battle Pass right now, go Rambo and completely decimate the new player populace. Next one. I'm going to take his last 2 points and combine them. Nothing larger than, I think he says, duos, and the lack of private lobbies. Really, that's a big issue for me. There's a reason why teamers are a thing, and this is why. If I have a group of friends that's larger than 2 people, or is larger than 1 person, because even if I have 2 people, I have an issue, I now have to choose to play with 1 friend, or I can just team. And teaming's not hard in Vigor. So, simply put, the addition of private lobbies would be a huge help that could really fix a ton of the issues that we're seeing with this teaming in every lobby, pretty much. I played right around 12 hours today when I filmed this video. A lot of it was on stream, and I can probably get you a solid hour of just straight people teaming. Just people playing duos and solos, people playing squads and solos. It's disgusting. Bottom line is it happens, and these issues would be fixed if private lobbies were added.
Things that I feel Vigor needs to bring to the table in 2020 is an actual competitive structure. I'm talking about custom matches. I'm talking about squad mode. I'm talking about the ability to actually track all of your stats in an encounter. And I mean it, all loot, kills, deaths, distance walked, like literally everything. I think it would add such a crazy level of awesome to be able to really track your Outlander's progress through each encounter. Ugh. And another thing I would actually like to see is the max player size for each encounter increased. Now, it doesn't have to be much, but obviously if squads and the like shows up, I would like to see it kind of balance out, because I think some maps might need that. And continuing on this train, there needs to be balance when you're leveling up. The Battle Pass that just came recently is something that I really do feel is a fantastic addition when it comes to progression. But dear God, I play pretty frequently and I still feel like each encounter is barely an inch towards the next.
That's because it isn't. But that's a whole nother video topic, and I actually have that video probably coming out tomorrow. But this is this video topic. So I'm going to quickly go over the what he just mentioned. I already said what I thought about custom matches. That's something that needs to happen. It's very important. Squad mode, same issue. Now, there is a reason why there isn't squad mode in the game that has been addressed by the devs. The reason explained by them is that the servers currently can't take it. This issue also applies to the larger lobbies. If the servers can't take squads, the servers won't be able to take larger lobbies. And that would just be more of an issue. I think steps to eventually add these ideas into the game are already being taken, and I think we should expect them eventually.
I think overall Vigor has grown extensively. And even though the road has been a little bumpy during some points, I still feel like the good far outshines the bad. And for a free-to-play Xbox exclusive, I'm pretty sure they're headed in the right direction. And with the new update schedule as well as the plans they've already laid out, I feel like as long as they continue to stay on the ball and continue to listen to the community and put things in the game that we want in 2020, it should be another highlight year for Vigor and Bohemia Interactive.
That is how you make a review video. That was simply perfect. To understand just how perfect this was, that thing we just watched, that magnificent beauty of a video. I'm not even being sarcastic here. I'm being serious. I don't like Vigor content. I'm going to be honest here. I only watch streams. I do not watch Vigor YouTube videos. 9 out of 10 times I watch a Vigor YouTube video and I go, this is a stream highlight. Ew! And then I close it. And then I go complain to one of my friends like, oh, there's no good Vigor content. I'm that guy. I'm not the guy that dislikes the video. I always like the video. Even when I don't like the video's content, I will still give it the thumbs up because I know the guy behind that channel, he makes great streams. His streams are amazing. Every time, all of the Vigor streamers are amazing, so I know their streams are great, but I don't like stream highlights. This is a review video. This isn't a stream highlight. This isn't a ramble. This isn't a podcast. He made a review video and he did it well. He did it really well. He did it better than I possibly could have, and I'll give him the credit for that. If I had to rate his review video, I'd rate it 11 out of 10. And again, if you have not watched it, what are you doing here? I already told you you're not allowed to watch this video without watching his. You've made a grand mistake if you are still here. That means you don't understand the words, do not be here, if you have not watched video. But alright, we're going to move into my opinion. There are two things that he didn't talk about that I do think should be talked about. I don't know if they're really large issues. I don't know if they're really small issues. I just think there's something that's going to pop up, and we need to acknowledge it and think about how we're going to continue. First thing, new generation of consoles. New generation of consoles drops in the fourth quarter this year. This year being 2020. Vigor's going to have to decide what it does in responding to that. Does it move to the new console immediately? Does it wait? Does it not go to the new console? Does it stay on the one? Does it rely on backward compatibility? What does Vigor do in this very changing market? It's going to have to make a decision with that console. And I don't know what that decision will be. It's definitely going to be an interesting thing to see as we get into the fourth quarter. The second issue I think Vigor is going to face is the potential for something else to come out of the woodworks and potentially challenge it. This is an issue. This is an inevitable issue with any game. But I'm going to put it down as an issue for 2020 because someone has to say it. There's a chance that a game like Rust, or I Hate Rust, or Escape from Tarkov gets a Xbox port, and Vigor would have some issues. While I might personally hate both of those games, I think they're stupid. That's just me. Most of the Vigor community likes those games. And while I'm not saying they're all going to jump ship, the less time they spend on Vigor, the more issues with matchmaking, the less money the Vigor devs are going to be making, and that's potentially an issue we could see in 2020. I don't know what form that issue will take, but it's a potential issue. So that will be it for me and for this great video that I just reviewed. Please, I know I've said it like 12 times now, go watch the video if you haven't. I swear, someone in here is going to comment, I didn't watch the video. And then I'm going to egg you because you are an egg. But really, no, his points are much better than mine. I think that's in part because a lot of the arguments I have are not for the whole year. I think my arguments will be gone by the time this video even comes up. By the time the video is released, the issues I have with the game currently won't be issues. Because I focus on much more smaller details that worry me more. But great, again, bottom line, it was a great video. He did a great job.
Yeah, he's right
I'm
at
excited
that
for 2020. Let's see what Vigor brings us. And you know what, you guys? If I don't see you in another video,
Maybe.
I hope I see you in the Outlands. Till next time, this has been
If we
Mr.
don't
Vigor.
screw